Morning. Morning, Martin. Hope you're well. Let me know if I'm coming through okay before I get started. Obviously, loud and clear. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let everybody. I think everybody's a bit early or getting up, or I know we got some in the UK, which is 4 hours behind. But I'll put in a poll about what time is best for you guys. I know you would prefer this time because you're basically the opposite end of the earth from me. But I'll put in a poll and see what time's best, so that everybody can kind of get best use. But today, yeah, since you were there, I thought, well, I'll just come on. I'm not doing anything else. Not doing anything else apart from waiting around, waiting for my stream. So I actually don't mind this time. 10:30 UAE time. It's actually probably a little bit better for me, but I'll wait to see what everybody else says. So hopefully I did a good weekend. We're trying to make the most of the nice weather before it gets too hot. So at the beach on Saturday, and went out for a few beers afterwards. It was lovely, lovely. We're already planning when we're going to be in Spain this summer. Hopefully it'll be maybe June, July, August, but I'll wait and see. So we'll be doing my streams from Spain, hopefully when it gets too hot. Anyway. Now and after, make sure you go to Castelldefels. Where's that? So we're going to Castelldefels. We're going, I don't know where that is, mate. Oh, Barcelona. We went to Barcelona, when was it? A couple of years ago now, me and Megan, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Went to see a Barca game. Obviously went to see Messi. Absolutely loved it. We went to this amazing bar. It was called, something hairdressers, like hairdressers or something. So you go in, it's like a hairdresser shop. So it's like this secret bar. You got to say, like, they ask you a question, like a password thing, and they open up, and it goes down into like this cool little cocktail bar. It was awesome. But we'll be in Marbella. So we'll be in just outside Marbella in Algeria for a couple of months playing golf and enjoying the weather. Getting out of here would be lovely. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Anyway, let's talk about the market, shall we? So yeah, as I posted this morning, I'm in this US. I'll just let you type, mate. Yeah, I mean, there you go. It's a very Mamba FX thing to say, but this is the benefits of being a full-time trader, right? We can do things like this. And, you know, well, depending on Megan's job now, because Megan just started a new job. But I said to her, right, I don't want to be here for 2-3 months in the summer. And she's like, well, I don't know if I can get a holiday. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing with that. But I certainly want to be out here. But yeah, Mamba FX, you can trade from anywhere, make thousands off your phone. Anyway, Mamba FX franchise in Spain. I know I should, eh? Okay, right. So I took this, as I said in the morning, I took this aggressive entry on US 30, not with real money. Again, this is still being developed on this short, on a cup with handle ABC. Here's our catalyst to entry, this inverted hammer coming on high volume. So for me, that was good enough to take. What I'm going to start to do now, I actually don't like it that much, but anyway, I've taken it because it does fit the rules. What I'm going to do, and this is why it's important, is because, you know, we talk about second structure and third structure. Now, I think the third structure, an entry in a third structure, i.e., if we've got, let's just, for example, say cup with handle, you know, this is what I mean, the third structure in here. You know, a view reversal, pullback, third structure in here. I think that works better. However, I don't know that yet because I haven't got the data. So I'm going to start to, and I should have done this at the start, but it's not something that we actually figured out until a bit later on, right? So I'm going to start to note down which structure I'm taking these entries in. I think GJ was second as well, second structure here. CAD Swiss I know was a third structure because we started noticing that after the CAD Swiss, and the US 30 is second structure. So it just depends on when we get to maybe 20 or 20, 30 trades before we can put this into real money. You know, we can start to figure out, well, is there going to be a pattern between the third structure and bigger wins? You know, Aussie Swiss, I can't remember if this was second or third, but again, we just keep going and we find out more data. So at the moment, I know we're only 8 trades in. USD yen will certainly be at least a break-even one, but we're operating around 50%, which is okay. I don't mind that. You know, I'm expecting a lower win rate because I'm expecting a higher payoff ratio. That's usually how it goes. You know, a higher win rate, you're expecting a bit lower win rate, you're expecting a bit higher payoff, which is fine. This is aggressive strategy. I want a higher payoff because my normal breakout strategy is pretty blue chip breakout retest. You're gonna get your 20% a year pretty much as a given. It's not gonna be any thrills, but this one, I did want to add in something like this. So yeah, I'm excited for it. So US 30 in that as an aggressive strategy. I'll add in my SAR here. So with the premise of it, it has to break the level. So it has to break the level before I think about it. You know, this is where it's difficult because, okay, let's say we come down here where we're getting 1 or 2 R. What do we do then? You know, do we move our stop to break even after 1 R? I don't really want to do that. As I said, I want to be aggressive with it, and I don't think I would move it until we actually break this zone. But again, something that I'm developing. So US 30 in, and USD yen. So USD yen, again, one that I didn't really like. I said to that, I think the risk reward was a bit high, but you know, it seems to be working quite well on a second structure. On this particular candle here, cup with handle, pullback, breakthrough, and this is obviously working out quite nicely. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm excited for it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, markets today, what is happening? I'm not really sure. It does look a little bit bearish. You know, I did say this level was quite key. Wait for a break and close above that. We did not get that. We got a big rejection candle, a big inverted hammer, and we're starting to move down. This doesn't mean that I'm going to say full-blown risk off because we're still seeing that yen weak. We're still seeing the Swiss weak. Morning, funny. So again, there's that disconnection between what we're seeing in the stock market and what we're seeing in terms of what's strong and weak in the currency market. So I would expect at this point in time the yen to really come into strength. It's not really happened like that. So this could be a fake out, move into stop locations and push back to the upside. But it does look quite bearish. But are we getting? It's not really an ABC, but let's call it a complex. Taking account of that fake out, we could see a push up. So I'm going to continue with my more neutral stance until we get a break above or below this level. It's been very difficult to predict. You know, the ABC, as I talk about every day, is still intact. So if we do get a push on, you know, I know it does look bearish, but I go with the gut feeling. I'm trading what I see, not what I think. But if I'm talking about from my gut stance, I might expect this to come up and then we continue in that trend. Or if we continue and we break out of that level properly for movement back to the upside. This is our main downtrending anchor. This is just probably our intermediary anchor, we would say. But yeah, let's wait for a reason. If we get some rejection on this 4 hour, on these smaller time frames intraday, it may be a decent time to look at that risk off pairs, selling them into the commodities, i.e. yen Swiss against the Aussie Kiwi CAD. Maybe not CAD because of oil. Well, oil is coming off as well. But yeah, I just have a sneaky suspicion this might push. But at the moment, we're looking at entry short because the daily does indicate that. So basically, it could go either way. It could go either way. Let's look for reasons to either buy those risk offs or buy the risk ons. Dollar's pushing. V reversal here, Martin. There we go. V reversal on the DXY. It has not breached the high, so technically we could still get a deeper pullback. But in terms of our ABC, I wouldn't really expect that now with how the DXY looks. So what do we think? What do I think? I wouldn't be trusting a break above here right now. If we get a slight pullback, this would look good for continuation. Long-term bias is to the upside. If we do get a break and close because it's an index, yes, it does look good for the dollar. Would I be massively worried about selling this dollar right now? No, because if we do, we get some pullback into it. But I think all you know, longer term, I can't speak this morning. Longer term, it's to the upside. So this is what I would be looking at the DXY. And if we do get that up, it might be a potential setup for me as a break of this 99.2 handle, let's say. So this would be my bias for dollar. We did get a reaction before. Remember, markets are made up of individuals. They remember what happened last time. But if we can get a lesser reaction than we did here, this would look good for movement back to the upside. But it could push. It could push. So dollar to the upside, SPX, wait for confirmation. Okay, watch list. Morning, Ifo. Morning, Ifo. Good to see you. Litecoin is number one. I was looking at this morning. I still like the idea of shorting the crypto market. We could push on, but I still just have this feeling that Bitcoin wants to hit that 30K handle. You know, we have had some volatility. We've not really moved that much over the past little while in any crypto market, really. Bitcoin a little bit more. But we're in this steady state corrective now. What I'm looking at, basically today, is if we get some real bearish pressure, third time a charm on Litecoin, yeah, I know. If we get some bearish pressure here on this day, creating our evening star, but we do need some volume come in, it could be considered, or it will be considered, a head and shoulders, breakout, steady state retest, continuation to the downside. We're at this key psychological level. We're at the $100 mark, okay? And this is probably why we've been doing this, certainly on smaller time frames, is because the market's deciding whether, are we going to hold 100 or are we going to fall down? Now, the thing is, if we do get a daily close and we do fall down, we think about the psychology of individuals, right? That will probably be a bearish sign for Litecoin. And you'd expect to see Bitcoin fall as well. Not because of Litecoin, but if we are falling, you'd expect to see Bitcoin fall as well. So waiting for that real signal to sell it is basically what I'm looking for. And I like it. You know, I do like it. You know, we zoom out here. We're still going with that trend. You know, the 20 period is there. I know we've had some decent bullish bars here, okay? But we've kind of digested that from this one. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. So remember I say, once you get that catalyst, you're expecting some sort of movement within 5 bars, or you can not disregard it, but you probably say it's less meaningful than when it first printed. So yeah, looking for a bearish engulfer or a bearish hammer, something like that on volume to get me in, could be a potential trade for tomorrow. I'll go into Bitcoin as well because I'm looking at Bitcoin. I think maybe, I don't know whether it's my bias that I just want this to fall so I can buy it up at a better price, but the chart is telling me this actually looks pretty good. You know, we're getting double V reversal now here. So A, B, C, oh, sorry. A, B, C. So our V reversals are coming at that key area, B wave. So on this daily, we've tagged this level multiple times. I don't care about this fake out, that's fine. Tagged it here, and now we've tagged it again. Not quite ready for a break. I think we can see by the chart, for me, not quite ready for a break. I would need either a slightly reload or certainly some accumulation really at this area before we break down underneath, or if we break down underneath, in order for me to put my breakout zone there. So it's not really nice on the 4 hour. That's why I've only put the daily here. It looks nicer on the daily than it does the 4 hour. But we have tagged this zone here. If it does do this on the 4 hour, then we could look at it from this section, triple V reversal. But at the moment, it looks better on the daily than it does the 4. So maybe we do, if it does get some bullish pressure here, then we could look at it on the 4 hour, because obviously your risk reward is going to be a little bit better. But I'm looking at that on the daily to break underneath the price level, roughly around the... Yeah, your 37 to 37.5 level, Martin, I would say. 37 to 37.5. This is the thing, if we do get and I'll talk about this with USD NOK, if we do get a setup potentially here, then this is where we'll figure out, okay, where's our breakout zone probably, or where's our breakout zone probably most respected? Where's the market really respecting? Will it be here? Will it be down here? You know, will it be somewhere here? I think we know that, or we start to realize that as the pattern really progresses, right? So yeah, around the 37, 37.5 level. But I just do think that 30K needs to be tested. I would be surprised if it wasn't. Certainly with how price action is going now. So yeah, let's see. Bitcoin maybe to the downside. And the reason why I say that is if we look at USD NOK, right? In terms of realizing what level we're talking about. Now, No, I'm not very pernickety about them, but when I say we start to realize better in some circumstances, i.e. this USD NOK, because we've got different kind of highs or lows at this blue zone here. So this area and what we're doing now, and I'm looking at this as a larger cup with handle within a head and shoulders, right? Very nice pattern. Higher time frame confluence is great, by the way. I'll go into that in a second. But what I'm looking for, obviously we can't take a break here, is where are we going to stall if we do stall at this area? Okay, so that will determine where I'm taking the break from, because are we going to take these closes here, i.e. the wicked area? Are we going to go back up here, in which case, okay, we take our context from this situation here, right? So this area, or the final bit, will determine whether I think the breakout zone is. Now it's not always the case, because with certain contexts, like you start to see the area develop as it goes on. It's quite simplistic, let's say, or it's simpler. But when you get price action like this, you know, we wait for a real setup to determine whether, okay, where are we actually taking our break from? So there you go, little tip. So USD NOK, certainly my favorite on the basket. If we look at where we come from here, good impulse to the upside in that corrective, push through. Okay, and now we're getting our triple V reversal into this area. Okay, key area starting from all the way back here. But in terms of price action, this is really nice. This is really nice. Ready to move? Absolutely. On that V reversal, creating those higher highs. As I said, we come from here. Normally with my impulse channel corrective breakouts, the best ones do kind of have a little bit of accumulation. I know this is not really accumulation, but price action that looks a bit like this before movement to the upside. And that's essentially what we're getting here. So as I said, you know, from this impulse, this is what we're looking for. I mean, if you get involved with a trade like this, then perfect. Do I think this can happen from this area with how this whole structure looks? Absolutely. So that's why I like USD NOK, and I'm looking to get involved with it on this 4 hour to the upside. Hopefully it gives us a setup. What else do I have? US 30 I've done. German 40 is something I am also looking at. Longs this time. So counter trend idea long. Structure is here, cup with handle on the hourly 30 minutes. Breakout, retest, movement to the upside. This is a counter trend idea. If I go to higher time frames, we're getting possible confluence with this larger head and shoulders here. Breaking through this area. If we do break through on those smaller time frames, we'll break through this area of resistance, which is good. As I said, we're coming from this impulse. It looks less of a corrective impulse, right? You can see from that chart, with your correctives, you want to come down and kind of have price action like we saw with USD NOK. This puts doubt in your mind for trend continuation. So, and as you can see there, V reversal on the daily chart, right? So there's our kind of confluence for a counter trend trade, but it is counter trend. We have had this inverted hammer on this daily chart. We are getting this 20 period catch up, but I think there's enough there if we do break for movement to the upside, right? So I kind of like that. And let's see what happens. So German 40, potential breakout retest for a move to the upside. I'll put this level here so it's easier for you to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, don't mind that breakout retest. Silver shorts is still on the cards. Silver shorts here on the potentially breakout retest of this area here, cup with handle. Looking for this to really move to the downside over London or the next couple of hours. Breakout retest, continuation to the downside on that counter trend idea. The only issue with this is this daily chart. You know, 4 hour, there's a potential breakout for here on this head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, a little bit of accumulation, potential breakout as well in silver. But let's have a look at the weekly. So that's okay. I mean, we've got a little bit of confluence there with the weekly in terms of our doji candle, right? That doesn't mean it has to fall. That just means there's indecision within the market, right? Buyers try to push it up, sellers try to push it down. We've kind of gone nowhere on the week. However, dissecting that into the daily, it doesn't look too bad for just a pullback long. So let's wait and see. Let's see how it develops. Let's see how it develops. As I said, the head and shoulders is a trend change pattern. We're kind of getting that now. I need a little bit more on this 4 hour for a breakout to the downside. But because of that weekly, you know, we could say, well, yeah, okay, but look at this particular bar here. You know, certainly a bearish bar, but we've got two hammers here as rejection to that previous resistance becoming new support. So it's, I don't know, but my gut says I like it. This is the thing. My gut says I kind of like the idea of shorting these commodities right now, with the extent of the moves that has been had over the past little while. But let's see. Silver potential shorts, breakout retest to the downside. And finally, the last one. Oh no, that's it actually. That's it. Silver short, yeah, here I've done that. US30 I've done. Bitcoin I've done. USD NOK done, yeah. So USD NOK today is certainly my favorite. I don't think it's going to be a trade. Well, it won't be a trade for today for me, but it could be a trade for tomorrow, and absolutely my favorite on the basket. If I can get involved in that, I certainly will do. I certainly will. All right, let's have a quick look. Anything you guys want me to look at today? There's 3 of you here, so make sure you ask as many questions as you'd like. Let's go through some of the ones here. Silver, USD Swiss 1 hour from the 11th. Very interesting deal about breakout retest and RTE, catalyst to enter. We have a cut with handle pattern, but the handle is a very nice squeeze pattern, which is the main thing I will observe. The Swiss is currently behaving quite volatile due to the expectation of an increase in the interest rate by the Swiss bank. On a 1 hour chart, the support zone is pierced with a very nice strong green candle, followed by a doji and a very strong red candle forming a false evening star because the low volume of the red candle and the doji. Looking at the chart, the beginning of the squeeze pattern looks exactly the same as the huge fake evening star due to the low volume of the last 2 candles. And the pattern does not last as price continues to rise, okay? I switched to the 30-minute chart and I found an AB shallow C which ends perfectly with a hammer candle on volume and an ideal 20-period SMA support. I'm still not getting into the trade because of the Swiss volatility concerns, and I'm moving back to the 1 hour schedule to see how the 1 hour candle will end, which actually ends the 4 hour session. The 1 hour candle ends perfectly as hammer on high volume supported by 20 SMA. The 4 hour candle also ends perfectly with 20 SMA. Taking this trade, close the week +7. Oh, so this is after the fact. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Silver, that is a great explanation. There you go. You've got a very good explanation of why you're taking the trade there. Multiple confluences. I did like this. I didn't get in. It's not a retest I would take, but I understand your reasoning. A fake evening star, noticing the lowering volume as it goes on. This is great. Well done. Another one here. Obviously, you got this pattern coming in, squeezing into the area. There's your entry catalyst, I guess, on high volume, and it moves to the upside. Well done. Brilliant. Brilliant, mate. Let's have a look at it. USD Swiss. USD Swiss, yep. You would have made quite a decent amount on that if you're depending on where your stop is, I guess. I presume it'd be somewhere down there, right? Yep, somewhere down there. Entry, TP. Brilliant. Well done. Excellent. Okay, Martin, NZD, JPY, inverse head and shoulders to the upside. Possible daily is oversold by law, and the 4 hour RSI is rejected the 50 level and pointing up. I'm not a massive fan of the RSI, Martin, but that's okay. New Zealand yen, 1 hour. New Zealand yen, 1 hour. Yeah, I just worry about where it is here. You know, I was looking at New Zealand yen. I just, you know, with how it's moved, and really you got to take this as the start of the impulse, right? There's no massive, well, maybe at a pullback in here. I would be worried about going long there, Martin, just because of where we are and where we've probably originally come from. It looks to me that it's just maybe at the end of the move. It doesn't have to be, but it's possibly nearing the end of that move. 1 hour, you're looking here. I mean, it is coming off. I know it doesn't really matter until it breaks. So if it does come off, then you're not in that trade. The hourly does look better. The smaller time frames do look better. I'll give you that. But I just don't like where it is on the daily. You know, if you got this here, then perfect. You know, roughly around there, getting involved. RTM, ready to move. Do we think this is going to happen again? I mean, it could do, but again, if I go over 100 trades, I don't know if you'd win a lot of them, or make real money from taking trades in that area. That's my opinion. My opinion. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're not taking it. Guess you're not taking it until you see that break, right? I just worry about that daily. Have my alarm just start my 3 candle confirmation at 81.3. 81.3. Yep. So once it breaks, okay, fair enough. I mean, look, if it breaks and the markets do decide to move up, right now, yeah, it could absolutely do. It could absolutely do that if we get a push in those in that SPX. It could absolutely do that. But let's see. But yeah, like I said, if it doesn't break, then you don't take the trade, and that's absolutely fine. It's just an idea. Just an idea. USD yen not having much structure to the left of the charts. How do you analyze an entry on it? USD yen. Yeah, this is another one. Martin, I mean, I guess you're a little bit frustrated, right? Because you're in this trade down here. That's just gone. I mean, that is just absolutely motored on. Same thing with New Zealand yen. I couldn't take an entry up here in USD. Not right now. I mean, look at the daily. That is a big move. A big move. I think that's one you just got to let go and say, I'm not involved with it. So how did you get out of this trade? Just so I'm aware. Because I know you were in it. Where did you get out? You're in it from down here. This is where, see, I know there's swings and roundabouts for every trade management system, right? But this is where the swings do help. Because you'd be up to here now just waiting for another swing. The only issue is, okay, are we too climactic? Are we going to snap back at some point? I don't know. I don't really know yet. We'll have to wait and see. I'll just let you type, Martin. EFO Funny, anything you want me to look at before I head off after this? Any questions you have in general? Anything? Gold, okay, I'll have a look at gold. I'll just finish this with Martin on USD yen. Still not done my office. I've been lazy. I was supposed to do it this weekend, and then I just didn't. Been lazy. Stop loss after TP2 and got stopped out on a retest. Let me check the level. Yeah. Well, good. I mean, you made a decent bit of profit from it, right? But obviously, this is frustrating. You waking up and seeing, oh bloody hell, I could have got more. But again, as long as you stick to the system, that's all that matters. Let's see if you had a SAR here. If you had an SAR, would you still be in it? No, probably not. It's a bad example of a SAR. So that's there we go. In terms of two management systems that I like, obviously trailing the swings and the SAR gets you out quite early. The swings get you up, up into here. Now that's not always the case. As I said, swings and roundabouts is whatever you personally like. Okay, gold. Let's have a look at gold before I go into your question. Funny. Gold. You're looking for it to fall, right? I'm kind of fun on gold, and now I'm looking for it to fall. Yeah, I was looking at gold last week for a breakout retest. Well, actually on Friday. It didn't give me it. Did break through, but it came back up. It's not really moving to the upside now. I don't think it's bad on the daily. It just looks to be at the moment that we are still in this corrective pullback phase. Certainly we had this bar, right? This is certainly a bearish bar. We've had this here. So what do I think about gold? I wouldn't be surprised if it fell. But, we could be in this complex, right? Remember, path of least resistance on gold is to the upside. So going against it, certainly against gold when it does have momentum, is sometimes a bit scary. You know, could this be ABC continuation? I don't think it will be, because I think we'd need a daily 20. So I would say wait until that 20 period catch up on the daily. Yes, we could come down and pull back deeper. Gold does like a deeper pullback, so there's no doubt that if it does want to fall, it could fall quite a bit, in which case I would understand the reasoning for getting in on a counter trend trade. But it is counter trend, and I with, you know, what am I saying about gold? You know, sometimes when you see it, there's reasons to go short on smaller time frames. There's not really that right now. You know, yeah, if you get a break underneath these lows, that would make sense. Where's that trend line come from? This will go. So yeah, I don't know, Fonny. There's multiple different scenarios. I guess if you have a strategy and it fits your strategy to go short on gold, go short on gold. But at the moment, I would say that's pullback mode until it's not. Yeah. Very big questions. What's your take on the Fed's 15-16 meeting? Should we wait until it's final first before getting into any trade? So, I'm probably not the best person to ask about that, Fonny. I don't think so. I don't think... if you're asking me about waiting on news, then yeah, I would wait half an hour before, half an hour after. But that's in terms of actual news. Now that's obviously not really the case on the Fed. I don't know, Fonny. That's a good question, because from my mind, it's if something sets up, then I take the trade. You know, because for me, again, everything that is known in the market is reflected in current price. I don't really want to be a person that tries to analyze what's going to happen, what may happen. You know, that's not really how I trade, and I understand other people don't agree with that. That's fine. You know, there's 1,000 ways to trade a market. Should be wait, but I think I don't think staying out the market until things are finalized is a bad idea right now. That's also what I'll say. I mean, market conditions aren't great. We've seen that over the past 2 weeks, right? Not many trades, lots of volatility, movement this way, movement that way, things being quite climactic. And, you know, it's certainly a new kind of time. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with your bias, but for me personally, if I get a setup, then I take the trade. I don't know if that really answers your question, but yeah, it's probably better to ask Andrew what he thinks about that in terms of fundamental side of you. But for me, from a technical, yeah, I try and block all that stuff out. Again, I ain't the smartest person, but I'm good at what I do, and that's just what I focus on. Because I always remember when I had those biases in my head, reading all the news, and you know, why is the euro coming down when this has happened, this news has come out, or this is what X and Y person has said, and certainly wasn't. I personally, I wasn't profitable with it. So yeah, this is what I stick to. This is what I know. But in terms of big events, half an hour before, half an hour after, you know, staying out the market makes sense. So yeah, that's my unambiguous answer to your question, Fonny. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Always I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, also right now I wouldn't staying away would make sense as well. But the problem with me staying, so if I done that, again, I know you're not doing that, but I'm just going to give you a scenario. Let's say I'd done that and I said I'm not going to trade until after all that finalized, right? In a trade like USD NOK, which I love, the setup, right, gives me, look at that volatility, gives me what I want, right? And I tune in on the 17th or 18th with this moving to the upside that I could have taken, but I didn't because of news coming out. I would be frustrated, right? So that's where I go. Again, that one eye on the psychology of your trading. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you type more. If there's nothing else, then I'll love you and leave you. I'll give you I sent you a private message, Ronnie, by the way. Last one, can you look at Aussie Swiss? I'm short on the trade now. Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss. Yeah, I mean, it looks, let me zoom out a bit. If you're short on it, what you're hoping to happen is, what you're hoping for here then is potentially a complex, right? Before continuation, because again, path of least resistance is to the upside. Where's your trade? Let me just see. Entry 0.6799, 0.6799. Okay. Oh, excellent. Okay, good. 6799. TP is what? TP 6687. 6666. So, so you're looking for it to break underneath here, right? 6687, something like that. 668. Where's your stop, Martin? Where's your stop? What's the risk reward on it? Is it tighter or a kind of larger stop? Is your stop maybe somewhere here? 6826, that kind of previous swing. The only issue is, does it get all the way down there? What do we say? 66? Because then you've got this 200 as dynamic support. You've still got that 20 as dynamic resort as well, and you've got the power of the trend being you're going against it. Now the 4 hour does look good to the downside. It does look like it's melting down. If the SPX does come off, it probably will help this trade for you. We are getting a reaction off around the 200, which you probably would expect. Where's your stop? 68625, 686, 68. Okay, so this is a longer term. This is a longer term play. Okay, I get you. $68625. Okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah. My only concern for that would be, do we get down there? Are we going to be here and then continuation? Although this price action certainly is bearish. It is bearish, absolutely. You're kind of breaking through this area, right? Breaking through there. And if we do fall off, if the markets does fall off, then yeah, this could absolutely change trend and get you more than that. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. If you can get to 1-to-1, I would protect that because it's counter trend. If you can get movement decent to somewhere down here, I would protect it. I would even have your stop there, to be honest with you, because it's counter trend. I think you could reduce the risk there. Because we think that if this does push up, you got to think about what price action looks like. It's not going to look good for continuation to the downside now, right? So, I wouldn't even need to have the stop there. I would have it down there. Depending on what happens with price action, but it does look good to the downside. But again, stick to your plan. Stick to your plan. So yeah, I see it. Testing the 200. Yeah, this is why I don't know if I should stay on it or take my money and run. FTMO style, I don't want to see red. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Well, that's why I would be managing this on the 4 hour. Right, I would say, right, okay, we've had a move to the downside. We could come back and possibly retest this area for continuation. I would be putting my stop there. Trailing that swings purely on the count. Again, this is just advice. Always stick to your strategy. Because it is counter trend that we could move to the upside. So yeah, as I said, my only tip with this one would be I don't think you need this bigger stop. Would be down there. That for me. Just looking at your trade. Hey Silver, morning Amira. So I know I was an hour earlier. I'm gonna ask a poll today and say which time do you guys prefer? Because I'm just finished now, unfortunately. I did message, but I guess you're probably somewhere not seeing it because it's not my normal time. But I'll put a poll out today. Yeah, I'll put a poll out today, Silver, and see what time is best because the US times have changed and stuff. I'll just let you type, Silver. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'll do it. It should be up in about half an hour. But GJ, okay, GJ. Let's have a look at GJ. GJ. GJ, you were looking 15-minute. ABC, GJ. Yeah, I can see what you're looking at. Daily on that 200, but there is some decent bullish pressure here. So as I said, as a trend continuation trader, I would be worried about this price action. It is at the 200 though. So again, dynamics, resistance to price, but if we break above that area, we'll have a lot of bit of clearance from that 200. 4 hour. 4 hour. 4 hour. Broken above here. It is strong to the upside. So yeah, I mean, yeah. I would see, I would agree. I would see your bias with that, Silver, to be honest. I would see your bias with that. Break up, retest. Push. Retest. Movement to the upside. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. You know, it obviously counter trend is counter trend. I guess is your confluence here, the break of structure, and it looks a bit more impulsive to the upside rather than a corrective. If we take our fib, I guess, if we take our fib from here, where are we? Approaching that 61. Yeah, I mean, I would see why you're taking it. Basically, I would see why you're taking it. Breakout retest. Yeah, why not? Why not? I think there's something there. And as I said, if the yen has come off a bit, if the markets do push on, the yen will weaken off. Yeah, it would make sense. Would make sense. No worries, mate. Right, guys, I better go. I've been on for 45 minutes. That's not like me. 45 minutes today. I usually like to keep it about half an hour. But anyway, I'll put the recording up, guys, and I'll put a poll up to see when the best time to stream is. But if not, remember, it still is a Monday. Although I keep saying this, but I do think it's getting a little bit better. But it is a Monday. And remember to always trade safe. Peace.